Gentlemen, how are you? This is Armando Cruz, and in today's video, I want to tell you a story about an Indian gentleman named Dashrath. If I had met Dashrath, we probably would have thought he was crazy. So did his village. People taunted him and laughed at him. The reason was he lived in one village in India, and in order to get to the village on the other side of the mountain, it was a distance of 80 kilometers. That is something over 50 some miles, okay? 80 kilometers. So he set out to carve a path through the mountain. But he wasn't wealthy. He didn't have special equipment. He had hammers and chisels. Hammer and chisels. And for 22 years, every day, hammer and chisel. And at the beginning, everyone laughed at him. Everyone thought, Dashrath, you're crazy, man. How are you gonna chisel through a mountain? It took him 22 years, but he did it. He said, initially, most people were laughing at me. Most people taunted me. But as time went on, they started seeing how serious I was and the persistence that I had, that people then started helping feed him. They started helping him purchase more chisels, more hammers as those wore away. And what used to take 80 kilometers to get from one village to the other now takes 3 kilometers. That's less than 2 miles. That is, talk about a game changer, a shift in an entire society, because he was willing to work 22 years to see his vision through, because he knew the importance of it, even while everyone else thought he was crazy, that it was impossible to do. And when I hear stories like that, I get inspired, and I have to reflect and say, do I have that level of clarity? Do I have that level of commitment? Do I have that level of purpose that I would be willing to chip away with hammer and chisel at my dream for 22 years? And I gotta be honest with you, there are days that I will say, no way. And there are days that I feel like I can conquer the world, and I say yes. The difference is whether or not you make most of your days those days that you say no. The difference is the people around you. That do you surround yourself with those people that are gonna taunt you and laugh at you, or do you build an inner circle that is there to support you, guide you, lift you up when you are down? Do you have a coach? Do you have someone from the outside that has a perspective that you can't see, that when things get dark, they shine a light in your darkness? Those are all very crucial and important parts to realizing your dreams. So I want you to first celebrate Dashrath. Celebrate his life, celebrate his legacy. I talk a lot about legacy, and here's a man who lived out a legacy that will forever impact these communities that he helped to join by being gutsy enough, being courageous enough, being willing to endure the hardship, the taunting, the laughing, the disbelief of everyone around, and all he did was put his head down and hammer and chisel, hammer and chisel. So after you're done celebrating, ask yourself those questions. How can I get that level of clarity? How can I get that level of determination with the purpose that will drive me beyond anything and everything? How do I get an environment? How do I build up an inner circle? How do I hire the right people around me, the right coaches, have the right clients have the right peer group to help lift you up and push you forward as need be? Ask yourself those questions and start answering them. Start living them. And maybe one day we'll be as lucky as Dashrath to reap the fruits of our labor. Take care.